Step into the world of the Karp family, a dynasty born not from centuries of inherited power, but from the relentless mind of one man whose vision has quietly shaped the course of nations. At the heart of this family stands Alexander Alex Karp, a figure as unconventional as he is influential. Born in 1967 in New York City to a Jewish father and an African-American mother, Alex's upbringing was a blend of intellectual rigor and cultural diversity. Dyslexia marked his early years, but rather than being a limitation, it forged in him a resilience that would one day become his greatest asset. Alex was not destined for the corporate fast lane. His path meandered through the halls of philosophy at Haverford College, law at Stanford, and a doctorate in neoclassical social theory from Germany's Goethe University. He was, first and foremost, a thinker, a man who approached the world like a chessboard, each move calculated, each strategy precise. The turning point came in 2003. Alongside fellow Stanford alumnus Peter Thiel, Karp co-founded Palantir Technologies, a company whose mission would redefine the power of information. From the shadows, Palantir built data systems so advanced they became the backbone of counter-terrorism, defense intelligence, and corporate strategy worldwide. Governments, military branches, and Fortune 500 giants came knocking. As CEO, Karp steered Palantir through secrecy and scrutiny, growing it into a multi-billion-dollar titan. In 2025, the company reached new heights, with revenue milestones breaking records and stock performance outpacing nearly every tech competitor. His personal fortune soared past $14 billion, crowning him as one of the wealthiest black individuals on the planet and the richest black American alive. Yet the Karp family legacy is not defined by wealth alone. Karp's leadership is infused with an almost philosophical patriotism. He speaks not in quarterly reports but in manifestos, warning of the geopolitical stakes in artificial intelligence and urging the West to reclaim technological dominance. His book, The Technological Republic, reads more like a call to arms than a CEO memoir, a rallying cry for Silicon Valley to put nation before novelty. Away from the spotlight, Alex Karp lives as privately as he runs his empire. He shuns the Silicon Valley scene, preferring the solitude of his Colorado ranch, cross-country skiing from his barn in the mornings, and training in martial arts, a reminder that his discipline extends beyond the mind. The Karp family remains largely out of public view. Alex himself is unmarried and fiercely protective of his personal life, but his wealth and influence ripple outward, funding research, shaping defense policies, and leaving an indelible mark on global security infrastructure. Their story is a modern paradox, a family dynasty with no royal lineage, a fortune built on protecting nations, and a legacy that will likely be studied in history books, not just for business achievements, but for how they changed the very way we understand information, power, and the defense of the free world. The Karp family name, forged in intellect and fortified by technological mastery, stands today as a symbol of what happens when vision meets unyielding resolve, and when one man's ideas can quietly influence the course of history. In the heart of Chicago in 1946, a young man named John Harold Johnson borrowed just $500, half of it against his mother's furniture, to chase a dream no one believed possible, a publishing empire for, by, and about Black America. From that modest seed grew Johnson Publishing Company, a powerhouse that would change how the world saw black life. Ebony and Jet magazines became household names, chronicling beauty, success, struggle, and triumph in a time when mainstream media shut its doors to black voices. Every page was a mirror, reflecting a culture's pride and resilience back to itself. John H. Johnson's genius wasn't just in publishing. He built a lifestyle brand before the term existed. From the Ebony Fashion Fair to cosmetics lines made for black skin tones, decades before inclusivity became a corporate buzzword. His reach extended into radio, television, and philanthropy, turning the Johnson name into a beacon of black enterprise. When John passed in 2005, leadership and the weight of an iconic legacy fell to his daughter, Linda Johnson Rice. Elegant, determined, and deeply aware of her father's vision, Linda carried the torch into the 21st century. Under her watch, the Johnson family maintained ebony's relevance in a rapidly changing media landscape, expanded into digital, and continued championing black stories at the highest level. The family's wealth, built over decades, was a testament not just to business acumen, but to cultural influence. At their height, the Johnsons were counted among America's wealthiest black families, with holdings spanning media, fashion, and real estate. Their Chicago headquarters, the iconic Johnson Publishing Building, became a landmark of black achievement. But the true treasure of the Johnson family was never just their fortune, it was their power to shape narratives. For generations, they controlled the lens through winked. Black excellence, style, and political power were seen both in America and abroad. Even as the print industry shifted and the family eventually sold Ebony and Jet, the Johnson legacy remains woven into the fabric of modern black media. Every black-owned magazine, every targeted ad campaign, every mainstream brand now courting black audiences, all of it stands in the shadow of the path John H. Johnson first cleared. The Johnson family name endures as more than a symbol of wealth. It is a testament to cultural sovereignty. They proved that representation is not charity, it is power, and for that, their story will be told as long as there are voices to tell it. In the ancient city of Kano, where desert winds once carried the scent of trade from distant lands, a child was born into a dynasty of merchants. His name was Aliko Dangote, heir to a legacy that traced back to Alhassan Dantata, the wealthiest man in West Africa in the early 20th century. From a young age, Aliko was drawn to commerce. In primary school, he sold sweets to his classmates, not for survival, but for the thrill of turning coins into opportunity. The lessons of his forefathers ran in his blood. Wealth is built through vision, discipline, and relentless effort. In the 1970s, after studying business at Cairo's Al-Azhar University, Aliko returned home with a modest loan from his grandfather. He began importing sugar, cement, and rice into Nigeria, supplying markets that pulsed with the nation's growing appetite for goods. But Dangote's ambition was never to remain a trader. He dreamed of transforming Nigeria from a land of imports into a land of production. By the early 1990s, the Dangote Group began building its own factories, refining sugar, milling flour, producing pasta, and manufacturing salt. Soon, the empire expanded into cement production, constructing some of the largest plants on the continent. The Dangote name grew beyond Nigeria's borders. From Ghana to Ethiopia, Senegal to South Africa, his businesses became lifelines for construction, food supply, and jobs. Cement, sugar, flour, these were no longer just commodities. They were the foundation of economies. As the company thrived, so too did the Dangote fortune. Today, Aliko stands as Africa's richest man, his net worth measured in billions, his enterprises employing tens of thousands. Yet, beyond wealth, the Dangote legacy is one of transformation, turning markets into industries and industries into engines of national growth. From the dusty streets of Kano to the commanding towers of Lagos, the Dangote family's journey is a testament to the power of vision, the endurance of heritage, and the unshakable belief that Africa can build its own destiny